This is a quick video about Oracle Shop priorities. It's shown in this graph, and the number near the unit is what star level do they need to be. Like, yeah, so for Leandra, like you only need her at 6 star, she's gonna be very useful. And I think you can, after you get her to 6 star, you can first go invest in Dahlia and then Astrid and then Elmer to 7 star. And then you can buy the second copy of her and get her to 7 star. So yeah, the number is just the star level that they are needed to be good. Like Dahlia, for example, she really need the she's okay at 6 star, but she really need the 7 star so that she can share her buff with other units. So yeah, and so this is due to I'm making this video due to Dahlia being added to Oracle Shop as well as something I learned about the while playing the free-to-play account that the unit Leandra is actually really powerful. So before, I think my stance is on you should prioritize Astrid and Elmer before you get Leandra. But I think that's because I'm using a late game. I'm using my experience in late game and project it towards early game, and that's actually wrong. In early game, Leandra is actually way better than Astrid and Elmer combined. Yeah, a 6 star Leandra is like more useful than Astrid and Elmer combined in early game. So that's because Leandra has this like really convoluted ability that's really good for early game. So at start of each round, Leandra will summon one summon unit, like little creature, and then that happens on round start. And when Leandra takes action, she will devour that unit, like remove that unit, and it will grant your whole team 2 stack of Holy Shield and give her 2.5 million attack and up to like 50 million. So there's a stack limit of 50 millions. Yeah. So this flat stats are way more useful in early game than in late game because in early game you have less stats in general. Like yeah, so in early game like you will have your gears will be lower level and your you won't have a lot of like power in the synergy archive. So basically in early game the flat stats is gonna be really impactful. Plus remember there's also the 2 stack of holy shield on your whole team. So it's like a so it so that means she's both offensive and defensive. So like uh whereas like Elmer is purely defensive and Astrid is like purely offensive because she's mainly used for duplicating ultimate, and Leandra on the other hand is both offensive and defensive, and that's only required for her to be at 6 star. A 7 star Leandra is also it's not that impactful surprisingly because that ability is it looks pretty wild because you can before anyone takes action, the summoned unit will appear like due to her passive, and she will instantly cast her ultimate. And it sounds really OP, so that she casts an extra ultimate every round. But but compared to the the 6 star effect, this effect is actually not that great because you actually want to the her ability her damage dealt after she devoured the unit is gonna be more important. But this ability will cast before she devoured the unit and gain the increased stat. So so this 7 star Leandra is not that big of an upgrade. So that's why I think you want to invest in a 6 star Leandra first before before you invest in anything. So like if you are starting a new account, like the first unit you should buy is Leandra. Yeah. so from Oracle Shop is Leandra. And if you are like somewhere into the game and you haven't bought your 6-star Leandra, I think this is the first unit you should bought. You should buy next. And it's not that big of a deal. Like you didn't make a huge fatal mistake, but I do think the Leandra is the most useful in early to mid game. So like as long as you don't have like all your units at 12-star or something, Leandra is gonna be useful, and she's also useful in late game. She's not like Themis. Like people say, Themis is really good in early game, but first, Leandra is better than Themis in early game. Like like just more efficient. I know Themis is cheaper, but like a 6-star Themis, a 6-star Leandra is gonna be better than like a 9-star or like 12-star Themis. So and Leandra is not useless in late game. So just because she's more impactful in early game, like in comparison, doesn't mean that she's bad in late game. And yeah, so that's for Leandra. Yeah, I do think you should buy Leandra first. That's something I learned while playing the free-to-play account because I didn't know that, and that makes Valiant her synergy pretty good in early game. So that's why like the Valiant her is like really popular. Yeah, so it's mostly carried by Leandra and yeah, also Elmer and Atrubus. So after you get a 6-star Leandra, you can focus on Dahlia. Yeah, I do think Dahlia is more impactful than. So I haven't got her to 7-star. I think she's more impactful than Astrid because again she's also both offensive and defensive, so she will gain herself will gain max HP and and as well as attack. So yeah, both offensive and defensive. Also, she she can also copy buffs to other allies. So she will copy the buff she gained from here to the other allies. Yeah. So yeah, I think I should mention how big this number is again for people who haven't noticed yet. So this number, like for each buff Dahlia gained, she increased her attack by 30% and max HP by 60% up to 50 stack. So at max stack, Dahlia will have three like uh wait a minute, like 1,500 attack as well as 3,000% max HP increase. So this number is really big. Like there's no, it's the biggest like stats increase in the game. And but this is only for Dahlia herself. If you get her to 7-star, like Dahlia will swap position each time she takes action, and swapping position is swapping with the unit in the same row. So like if you put your Dahlia here, she will swap with like this. She will not swap with units in the front row. And if you put her in front row, she will just only swap like this. And a very useful way is put Dahlia and Atrubus in the same row. And Dahlia will buff Atrubus, and then Atrubus will use her ultimate to buff your whole team. Yeah, that's for Dahlia. And yeah, so I think I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but when she swap position with an ally, Dahlia will copy her buff to that ally, and that will include this buff. So like your ally will have her attack increased by 150% and health increased by like 3,000%. Yeah, so this is so yeah, Dahlia is your second priority and you want her you at 7-star and then you can go to go to like Astrid and Elmer to 7-star. And yeah, Elmer there's a 7 here because Elmer at 6-star is not really that great. Like you really want the 7-star so that you unlock the his ability to not die whenever there's another ally alive, and then you can get Leandra to 7-star, and then you can start invest in other pretty good hero. But the heroes in B and C tiers they are not as important as the heroes in the S and A. Yeah. So this is the Oracle Shop priority. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.